very frustrated about how the world works around me. And this is the best way I know how to get that frustration out. Because I don't know how to explain it to anybody else. It only makes sense to me, it seems, and everybody that says, I understand, really doesn't. Because the more I talk through it with them, the more I realize they don't. I'm tired of being told the same generic thing. Here's the deal. I have a condition, I guess. A mental mindset that every time, no matter what, my brain wants to put somebody else's needs above mine. That this starts to be a problem when you can see a solution to a situation, but yet you can't give that solution to the world because of who you are and how much money you have or how old you are. So I'm going to talk about the things that frustrate me. You don't have to watch this. I wouldn't be bothered a bit if you stopped right now. This is for me. Because I can't help other people if I'm so pissed off at all the things I can't fix. Here we go, I guess. I'm frustrated that America, I'm not going to use the word society very much. I hate the word. But the American populace tends to be bent on preserving traditions. Whether the traditions are something as innocent as Christmas or something as, I don't even know what to describe it. School systems are traditions. I don't mean to say that we should completely get rid of school. I think school is a positive experience for the most part. I grant it. I mean, there's no reason it should be extremely hard, but it shouldn't be easy either. I understand that homework needs to happen. I get that. I believe high school's biggest value is teaching other people to deal with teaching people to deal with others on a social aspect. I don't know. It's gonna sound conceited because that's just the way it always ends up sounding, but I don't know how to say it any other way. I feel like my intellectual and social capabilities, or not social capability, maturity within that has grown past the level of high school, and I feel alienated in high school because of it. Do I feel bullied? No. I think bullying's a joke. Unless you're being beat up physically, deal with it. That's one of the other things that frustrates me. People are so completely oversensitive about everything. You can't bring up just about any subject at all. Especially in my school's got 400 people in it. Even then, my class has 60. And within that class, if you bring up any slightly touchy subject, you'll be bombarded with insults from people who don't know what they're talking about. Granted, some of them do, but most of them jump on a bandwagon. It's time for people to start realizing that fitting in is breaking everything. The need to fit in is causing you so much stress that you have to fit in more because the stress makes you think that you don't. Why do you want to fit in? Why? Why not be an individual? Why not be important? When I tell people, not people, when I tell people, like my counselor, for instance, I have a counselor I have to go see. I've been told by a psychiatrist that I don't believe in because how do you know what people are actually thinking? But anyway, this psychiatrist told me that I have to see a counselor, and so I do. And every medical professional, every parent, every friend has told me the same generic response because they don't understand. When I tell them I cannot put myself above others, they tell me I have to. They tell me I have to put myself first before I can help other people. I can't. It's imperative that you understand that. I physically, mentally am incapable of doing that. Any opportunity I have to help somebody, if I pass it up, I will feel dreadful and quite possibly insanely depressed for the next week. Even if it's a small thing. I sincerely believe everybody's on this earth to make somebody else's life better. And I just don't... Being frustrated makes it hard for me to talk. I'm sorry. My classmates, the people who were born the same time I was, the people I grew up with, people my age seem to be very self-centered. I've yet to find someone like me. So I mean to say that I'm perfect? No. God, no. I have plenty of flaws. But I don't know. I feel like it has something to do with social media. That might be part of it. Being able to share your thoughts, your opinions. Social media is also used to say things you never say to somebody right to their face. Cyberbullying. You know the solution to cyberbullying? There's a power button. Turn it off. I don't understand why people don't do that. Just turn it off. All your problems are solved. You don't have to read it. I have a Facebook account I open once a month just to check to see if I have event invites. I don't read any of the feed. I don't check any notifications other than event invites. You know why? Because I'm so tired of people writing behind screens at other people. If you have a problem with somebody, go solve it with them. It all rolls off the same thing. It all rolls off this politically correct thing we got going on now. And that's why I very much advertise it to the world that I am a Donald Trump supporter for this presidential election. Because he's not politically correct. Does he say some dumb things? Yeah, just like the rest of us. But the rest of the candidates have spent so much time trying to tell you why you shouldn't vote for him, and he's had to spend so much time defending himself that we actually haven't had an actual debate that matters, that they talk about what they're going to change. See, now I will say to people that I am a Donald Trump supporter. I don't tell other people that they need to be a Donald Trump supporter. I will back it up because I've done my research. I've listened to debates. I've read articles. I've watched his interviews. I can't vote yet, but were I able to, that's who I'd pick. Now, I do not appreciate when my opinion is then assaulted by 17 female classmates because they don't do the research that one of them did and knows about Bernie Sanders and likes Bernie Sanders. I mean, that's fine. You can like Bernie Sanders, okay? I have my problems with him, but, I mean, that's fine. Go ahead, whatever. But do not attack me with your words, okay? There's no reason to do that. See, opinions are opinions. They're not correct or incorrect. Morals are correct and incorrect. There are good morals and bad morals. But there are no good and bad opinions. Everybody's entitled to their own. That opinion cannot be forced upon other people. It's yours and yours alone, and if people think you're idiotic for it, well then that's their thing. But they don't share that opinion of your idiocy with you. At least you would think they wouldn't. The world around me is broken. It trickles straight down from the highest up all the way down to the lowest low. Maybe you didn't already know this about our government system. The president doesn't matter that much. He's just a face. The voting system's completely fraudulent in my opinion. Our popular vote doesn't matter. The Electoral College picks who they want to be president. And Congress happens to hold most of the power. And who is Congress backed by? Well, somebody's got to pay their salaries. Comes from our taxes. But I'm assuming they pocket a little bit more than that. Granted, not every congressman is a bad person, but enough of them are. Our government system has been set up for the people who are in power to be able to stay in power behind the scenes, while the rest of the country can blame one person, the president. Why is that hard to see? Then again, I can't fix it. I can see it. I know how you could fix it. But I can't. I'd be thrown in jail or shot or something. I sure as heck don't have enough money or the capability to lie well enough to be a politician. It's just a change I can't make. And I'm told to just live with the fact that I can't make it. There's got to be a way. There's got to be somehow that I can do something about all the things bothering me. For instance, the school system. I'm going to be completely unmodest. I'm intelligent. I got a 30 on the ACT. I mean, it's not great, but it's not awful. I got 26 in math. I'm not good at math. I can tell you that. But my intellectual standpoint on societal views is very large. I've overthought just about every political, economical situation that could come into the mind of an intelligent 17-year-old. I can solve arguments with 4 statements until people start arguing on the same side. They yell at each other back and forth without realizing that they're trying to do back the same point. You know what frustrates me? People who jump into arguments when they're not their fight. There are fights that you fight for others, right? You fight for those who can't defend themselves, right? But you don't do it over the internet. No. You want to make a difference in somebody's life? Then you stand up right there in person. That's how you do it. You don't go on the internet and you don't tweet about somebody badly and then not tag them in it. That's even worse than tweeting in general about it. At least let them know that you're insulting them. Don't do it behind their backs. People think they can hide behind all that. People have been given the false security blanket that they're the best. And that's just the way we were raised. Unfortunately, I wasn't raised like that. And now I have to deal with all the people who were. Somewhere along the lines, we've all heard the term, God created all men equal, or something to that nature, right? Right. I believe we were all created equal. In the fact that we were all given life at the beginning, and that's where the equality stops. From then on, the circumstances surrounding your birth, birth defects happen, accidents happen afterwards. You could lose a limb, you could become brain dead. There are lots of things that can impair you physically, but everybody is born into the same opportunity. Everybody's born with a mouth that can speak. Everybody's born with a mind that can think. Now, the extent of the thinking is not important. Everybody's born with a brain. Everybody's born with the same organs, more or less. Just about everybody. There are exceptions, but that's beside the point. From then on, what happens next is up to you. Nobody deserves anything on this world. That's my firm belief, because you have to earn it. Everything's a privilege, and everything can be taken away. In fact, you are a privilege to other people. But it's your duty to be that privilege. That's why we're all put here. That's my deepest rooted feeling about our whole meaning, if you want to talk about the meaning of people. See, back in prehistoric times, or whatever you want to call it, when man was first dawning and civilizations had not formed yet, we were just tribes. See, the tribes had to survive by working together. Any one weak link was killed off because they had no room to support somebody who couldn't support back. A waste of natural resources was let to die. Nowadays, they're let to blog on Tumblr or something. I don't know, I don't use Tumblr. If you are not contributing to society in some way, what are you doing? You wanna claim suicidal thoughts for attention? Go ahead. You wanna follow through with them? Be my guest. If you are dumb enough to take yourself out of somebody else's life because you had one bad day, or 2 bad days, or a month of bad days, who are you to take away the possibility of you improving somebody else's life? What right do you have? You have no right to do that. Suicide is a long-term solution to a short-term problem. I'm going to say something you've heard a million times. Somebody's got it worse than you, because they do. But that doesn't matter to you. I'd shrug that off too if I was depressed, because that's how the depressed brain works. I don't care what it is that it takes to get you out of that funk, to get you back on your feet. But you gotta find it, and most of the times it's not in you. For me, it's the fact that I gotta help people. That's what drives me every day. If I didn't want to help people, I wouldn't get up out of bed. In fact, I wouldn't be making this recording right now. But I have people that rely on me every day, whether it's just for a smile, or whether it's people who confide in me. I gotta stay here. That means I gotta deal with all this crap. I'm not talking about bullying. I can deal with that all day. In fact, I don't think it's bullying. Most of the time I take it in good humor. What I'm talking about is the inability to change what's wrong, because it's been happening for years and years, evolving into something we can't fix. Because nobody wants it fixed, because nobody sees it. I had to stand up a little bit. I'm frustrated. I'll sit down. So the camera stop moving. Now, I love the internet just like everybody else. And it's not like I hate America. I believe America is the greatest country because it's better than all the other places I could live. That doesn't mean it's amazing. It means it just barely scrapes by. Let's stop calling ourselves blacks and Mexicans and African Americans and whatever the PC term is you want, alright? I hate being called Caucasian. It's, in fact, an insult to me. That's one of the few things that I actually take to insult. Because none of my family has ever been from any place that has any name even close to Caucasia or Cacao or whatever you want to call it. My family is from Ireland, from Germany, and from Norway. None of those places are Caucasia. And it's even worse when they just slam us all together into white. How come I can't be Irish, German, Norwegian American? Or just one of them? How come I can't just be American? Huh? What's the problem with that? How come I can't just be part of a giant patriotic unit? We're very overprivileged in America. We're overprivileged. We take everything for granted. We fight only for ourselves. We have no sense of patriotism, no sense of country involvement, and if we do, we're called a redneck. There's a difference between being patriotic and being ignorant. To me, being patriotic means that you do your best to make America the best it can be. That means everybody in the country right now that belongs there. Now, don't misunderstand me already. People like to jump to conclusions before I finish, because I like to word things with metaphors and things, and that's one of the reasons that people jump on arguments with me all the time, but they don't let me finish what I'm saying. So backtrack. Let me finish what I'm saying before you make an opinion, okay? Okay. The people who belong here are the ones with citizenship of some sort. Whether they be on a temporary or final visa, I don't know what the whole visa thing works. If they are legally okay to be here, no matter what the reason, then now they're now Americans. If you are born in America, the only culture that you need to protect first and foremost is American. You can worry about all your other stuff afterwards. But don't insult people because they have a different background than you, because you're still Americans together. And so if you insult your fellow American, you insult yourself. It's time to wake up. Now, I don't expect anybody to watch this. I expect to see 0 views 7 weeks later. And that's okay. I just don't know what to do. I can't fix the government. I can't fix the school system. That seems to be a carousel that holds us there until we're 18 and ready to be pushed out into the world because they don't want us anymore. I'm ready to go now. But I'm still a junior. I'm not allowed to finish early. No. Even if I take summer classes, even if I have 4 times the credits I need to graduate from high school, I'm not allowed to finish early. In fact, I feel high school is more of a hindrance now. My brain's being filled with more crap than it will ever need, and most of the stuff I'm learning now I'll never ever use. Just doesn't make sense to me. Tradition. People have been going to school for years, and so they continue to go to school. Now, you should go to school, right? But when you feel you're ready, whether you're actually ready or not, it should be your decision whether you're ready to go into the real world or not. I've recorded for 20 minutes now, and I've barely scratched the surface. I have a deep, inset irritation that grows to frustration daily. And lately, every night, it's been hitting the anger spot. Anger being physically attacking something, whether it's a mattress or my book bag. I haven't attacked a person. In fact, I would hate myself for many months if I did, because that's unacceptable. Unless it's in the right circumstances. But just to hit somebody out of anger, it's ridiculous. So I don't know what I'm asking for. Maybe reflect on yourself for a little bit. Ask yourself, what matters to me most? What can I do to contribute? What do I take for granted? What do I believe in? What do I know to be wrong? I know I have to live through what my generation's creating. All the drama, all the silly social media, all the harassment through the internet, all the suicide because they can't handle it, all the endorsement of depression meds because teenagers just do it more. They're more depressed because it's more accepted, because it's come to light. And if celebrities or role models or whatever are allowed to be depressed, then why aren't we? It's such an easier term to pick than just understanding the situation and dealing with it. Instead of fixing the problem, we just give ourselves an excuse to get out of it. I don't know. Stop complaining about it and help me fix it. That's all I gotta say.